This girl says she wanted a Beetlejuice set but make it 3D, and I fell out onto the floor. We're going to give it our best shot though, y'all. So first we're making Bob's little collared shirt. And he doesn't have much of a neck, but we're going to cover most of this up later with the head anyway. Now it's time for Bob's head. We're grabbing our molding gel out of the pot, rolling it into a ball, and placing it on the nail. And if y'all don't know what Bob looks like, this is the character that I'm trying to mold right here. Smoothing that baby out with half alcohol and half acetone before I start molding his features into his face. For his little eyeball indentions, this is the tool I'm using, and I'm just pressing into that head. Taking the sharper side and pressing in for the indention for the nose. Pressing the molding gel inward right here to create that hump for the lips. I like to flash cure as I go because the molding gel will self-level. Alright, now we're just taking the tiniest amount of molding gel and sticking it into the little eyeball sockets. And y'all, we're even molding him some ears. So we're taking the tiniest little bit of amount, sticking it on the side and pressing in to kind of make it look like an ear. For his hair, we started out by taking some, placing on top of his head and pushing it downwards to create the little hair lines across his forehead. Right here, we're making his tiny little hair bow. For the hair strands at the top, I literally took the teeniest, tiniest amount and just placed them on top of his head like this. And I ended up doing 5 little strands. Woo-wee, baby. Now that all that hard work's done, we get to have fun and paint him. I'm taking like a bluish gray cover and covering his head and his neck. To add some depth and dimension into his face, I'm taking a gray color and just placing it wherever I feel like it needs it and placing some lines across his forehead as well. For his hair, we're starting out by making a black base, so I'm just feathering on his forehead and painting all his little strands. Now on his hair, we're going back in with the gray to create some dimension and make it look like little hair strands in there. Going back in on the face one more time with a darker gray, creating his little stripes across his lips and adding a little bit deeper dimension. To wrap him up, we're doing his little pupils. We're putting some red in his little eyeballs and making his little collar white. This is how the set came out. Y'all, I worked so incredibly hard on this. If you want a tutorial on any of the other characters, just let me know. The two-headed snake was definitely the hardest of all, y'all. I molded all those tiny little teeth, even put that little tongue in the second head snake's mouth. Let me know how long you think it took for me to complete this set. Bye, babies.